guys, I'm back again today with another reaction video, and today we're continuing with al-baqarah, and this time we finished off in verse 213, so we're continuing from there and until my camera dies. So let's see. Before we do start, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell button to get notified whenever I do upload a video. Anyways guys, let's check this out.
Concerning that over which they had differed by his permission. And Allah guides whom he wills to a straight path.
أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يأتكم مثل الذين خلوا من قبلكم مستهم البأساء والضراء وزلزلوا حتى يقول الرسول والذين آمنوا معه متى نصر الله ألا إن نصر الله قريب.
Or do you think that you will enter paradise while such trial has not yet come to you as came to those who passed on before you? They were touched by poverty and hardship and were shaken until even their messenger and those who believed with him said, "When is the help of Allah?" Unquestionably, the help of Allah is near.
يسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل ما أنفقتم من خير فللوالدين والأقربين واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل وما تفعلوا من خير فإن الله به عليم.
They ask you, O Muhammad, what they should spend. Say, whatever you spend of good is to be for parents and relatives and orphans and the needy and the traveler. And whatever you do of good, indeed Allah is knowing of it.
كتب عليكم القتال وهو كره لكم وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون.
Fighting has been enjoined upon you while it is hateful to you. But perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you. And perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. And Allah knows while you know not.
يسألونك عن الشهر الحرام قتال فيه قل قتال فيه كبير وصد عن سبيل الله وكفر به والمسجد الحرام وإخراج أهله منه أكبر عند الله والفتنة أكبر من القتل ولا يزالون يقاتلونكم حتى يردوكم عن دينكم إن استطاعوا ومن يرتد منكم عن دينه فيمت وهو كافر فأولئك حبطت أعمالهم في الدنيا والآخرة وأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون.
They ask you about the sacred month, about fighting therein. Say, fighting therein is great sin, but averting people from the way of Allah and disbelief in Him, and preventing access to al-Masjid al-Haram, and the expulsion of its people therefrom are greater evil in the sight of Allah. And fitnah is greater than killing. And they will continue to fight you until they turn you back from your religion if they are able. And whoever of you reverts from his religion to disbelief and dies while he is a disbeliever, for those their deeds have become worthless in this world and the hereafter, and those are the companions of the fire. They will abide therein eternally.
إن الذين آمنوا والذين هاجروا وجاهدوا في سبيل الله أولئك
those who have believed and those who have emigrated and fought in the cause of Allah, those expect the mercy of Allah, and Allah is forgiving and merciful.
Why does the one doing the English translation, I don't know why, I don't like the way he says the word Allah. I don't know, first, I don't know, maybe he's saying it right and I just don't know, but I don't know, it just sounds weird. I'm so sorry.
يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما ويسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل العفو كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات لعلكم تتفكرون.
They ask you about wine and gambling. Say, in them is great sin, and yet some benefit for people, but their sin is greater than their benefit. And they ask you what they should spend. Say, the excess beyond needs. Thus Allah makes it clear to you the verses of revelation that you might give thought.
في الدنيا والآخرة ويسألونك عن اليتامى قل إصلاح لهم خير وإن تخالطوهم فإخوانكم والله يعلم المفسد من المصلح ولو شاء الله لأعنتكم إن الله عزيز حكيم.
To this world and the hereafter. And they ask you about orphans. Say, improvement for them is best, and if you associate with them, they are your brothers. And Allah knows the corrupter from the amender. And if Allah had willed, He would have put you in difficulty. Indeed, Allah is exalted in might and wise.
ولا تنكحوا المشركات حتى يؤمنن ولأمة مؤمنة خير من مشركة ولو أعجبتكم ولا تنكحوا المشركين حتى يؤمنوا ولعبد مؤمن خير من مشرك ولو أعجبكم أولئك يدعون إلى النار والله يدعو إلى الجنة والمغفرة بإذنه ويبين آياته للناس لعلهم يتذكرون.
And do not marry polytheistic women until they believe. And a believing slave woman is better than a polytheist, even though she might please you. And do not marry polytheistic men to your...
There's so many sounds outside, so I have to keep pausing because sometimes when the somebody knocks the door, I'm the only one who can open it because I don't know, the other person is working and I don't know if the other people are at home, so I have to be like cautious. But interesting, we do not marry polytheistic women until they believe. So if man or woman is gonna marry a Muslim person who isn't a Muslim, so that person has to convert, or the Muslim man or woman either has to not marry that person then, right? Did that make sense? No.
And a believing slave is better than a polytheist, even though he might please you. Those invite you to the fire, but Allah invites to paradise and to forgiveness by His permission. And He makes clear His verses to the people that perhaps they may remember.
It's gonna rain.
ويسألونك عن المحيط قل هو أذى فاعتزلوا النساء في المحيط ولا تقربوهن فإذا تطهرن فأتوهن من حيث أمركم الله إن الله يحب التوابين ويحب المتطهرين.
And they ask you about menstruation. Say,
Ooh, did I ask about menstruation the last time, or was it sex? I forgot. I forgot the questions I asked last time. I have to read the comments, okay? Sorry if I'm not like replying to comments or reading the comments as often as I should. It's just that there's so many things that I have to do and I don't get the chance to read a lot of comments. It's only during my downtime, like when I'm eating or when I'm eating. That's the only time that I get to check the comments. So sorry, I have to see, but this is gonna be an interesting topic.
it is harm, so keep away from wives during menstruation.
Also, if a female is on her menstruation, you cannot have physical relationships. Is that correct? Let me know, guys.
Approach them until they are pure. And when they have purified themselves, then come to them from where Allah has ordained for you. Indeed, Allah loves those who are constantly repentant and loves those who purify themselves.
What do you mean by repent and purify? Is it like, did we do something wrong? Like when we have our menstruation, is it like a sin or something that we have to get purified? That would be an interesting video to react to be honest. Like, I'm interested because I'm a woman. Hello. Let me write it down because I want to know, like, what do you mean by you have to purify yourself and then repentance? Like, what do you mean? So I need to search Islam menstruation. That's interesting.
نساؤكم حرث لكم فأتوا حرثكم أنى شئتم وقدموا لأنفسكم واتقوا الله واعلموا أنكم ملاقوه وبشر المؤمنين.
Your wives are a place of sowing of seed for you. So come to your place of cultivation however you wish, and put forth righteousness for yourselves. And fear Allah, and know that you will meet Him. And give good tidings to the believers.
ولا تجعلوا الله عرضة لأيمانكم أن تبروا وتتقوا وتصلحوا بين الناس والله سميع عليم.
And do not make your oath by Allah an excuse against being righteous, and fearing Allah and making peace among people. And Allah is hearing and knowing.
لا يؤاخذكم الله باللغو في أيمانكم ولكن يؤاخذكم بما كسبت قلوبكم والله غفور حليم.
Allah does not impose blame upon you for what is unintentional in your oaths, but He imposes blame upon you for what your hearts have earned. And Allah is forgiving and forbearing.
للذين يؤلون من نسائهم تربص 4 أشهر فإن فاءوا فإن الله غفور رحيم.
For those who swear not to have sexual relations with their wives is a waiting time of 4 months. But if they return to normal relations, then indeed Allah is forgiving and merciful.
What? What is this for? So, I don't get it. Like, for example, a guy says, I don't wanna boink boink. I don't have sexual relationships with you, wife. So it means he has to abstain from for 4 months? Like, huh? I don't get it. Like, what would be the... Guys, help me out. I'm confused, okay? I don't know.
وإن عزموا الطلاق فإن إن الله سميع عليم.
Or maybe when you're fighting.
And if they decide on divorce, then indeed Allah is hearing and knowing.
والمطلقات يتربصن بأنفسهن ثلاثة قروء ولا يحل لهن أن يكتمن ما خلق الله في أرحامهن إن كن يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر وبعولتهن أحق بردهن في ذلك إن أرادوا إصلاحا ولهن مثل الذي عليهن بالمعروف وللرجال عليهن درجة والله عزيز حكيم.
Divorced women remain in waiting for 3 periods, and it is not lawful for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs if they believe in Allah and the last day.
Divorced women remain in waiting for 3 periods. What do you mean 3 periods? Like menstruation periods, or 3 months, 3 years?
Allah has created in their wombs if they believe in Allah and the last day. And their husbands have more right to take them back in this period if they want reconciliation. And due to the wives is similar to what is expected of them, according to what is reasonable. But the men have a degree over them in responsibility and authority. And Allah is exalted in might and wise.
I was gonna say something, but my mind is blank. I'm very, very forgetful. Sorry, guys. I was gonna say something.
الطلاق مرتان فإمساك بمعروف أو تسريح بإحسان ولا يحل لكم أن تأخذوا مما آتيتموهن شيئا إلا أن يخافا ألا يقيما حدود الله فإن خفتم ألا يقيما حدود الله فلا جناح عليهما فيما افتدت به تلك حدود الله فلا تعتدوها ومن يتعد حدود الله فأولئك هم الظالمون.
Divorce is twice. Then, either keep her in a reasonable manner or release her with good treatment. And it is not lawful for you to take what you have given them unless both fear that they will not be able to keep within the limits of Allah. But if you fear that they will not keep within the limits of Allah, then there is no blame upon either of them concerning that by which she ransoms herself. These are the limits of Allah, so do not transgress them. And whoever transgresses the limits of Allah, it is those who are the wrongdoers.
فإن طلقها فلا تحل له من بعد حتى تنكح زوجا غيره فإن طلقها فلا جناح عليهما أن يتراجعا إن ظنا أن يقيما حدود الله وتلك حدود الله يبينها لقوم يعلمون.
And if he has divorced her for the 3rd time, then she is not lawful to him afterward until after she marries a husband other than him. And if the latter husband divorces her or dies, there is no blame upon the woman and her former husband for returning to each other if they think that they can keep within the limits of Allah. These are the
Interesting.
limits of Allah, which he makes clear to a people who know.
I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say a while ago when I forgot, right? That this is an interesting surah because it gives us kind of like the do's and don'ts in aspects of life. So this is like our manual. Al-Baqarah is the manual of life. That is interesting.
وإذا طلقتم النساء فبلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو سرحوهن بمعروف ولا تمسكوهن ضرارا لتعتدوا ومن يفعل ذلك فقد ظلم نفسه ولا تتخذوا آيات الله هزوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم وما أنزل عليكم من الكتاب والحكمة يعظكم به واتقوا الله واعلموا أن الله بكل شيء عليم.
And when you divorce women and they have nearly fulfilled their term, either retain them according to reasonable terms or release them according to reasonable terms.
Return them, where is that? Fulfill their terms. Retain them according to acceptable terms or release them according to acceptable terms. It's like a, how do you call this?
And do not keep them intending
My
harm
brain is
to transgress against them.
0% today.
Whoever does that has certainly wronged himself. And do not take the verses of Allah in jest, and remember the favor of Allah upon you, and what has been revealed to you of the book and wisdom by which He instructs you. And fear Allah, and know that Allah is knowing of all things.
وإذا طلقتم النساء فبلغن أجلهن فلا تعضلوهن أن ينكحن أزواجهن إذا تراضوا بينهم بالمعروف ذلك يوعظ به من كان منكم يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ذلكم أزكى لكم وأطهر والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون.
And when you divorce women and they have fulfilled their term, do not prevent them from
Fulfill their
remarrying
term.
their former
I don't
husbands
understand.
if they agree amongst themselves on a reasonable basis. That is instructed to whoever of you believes in Allah and the last day. That is better for you and purer, and Allah knows and you know not.
والوالدات يرضعن أولادهن حولين كاملين لمن أراد أن يتم الرضاعة وعلى المولود له رزقهن وكسوتهن بالمعروف لا تكلف نفس إلا وسعها لا تضار والدة بولدها ولا مولود له بولده وعلى الوارث مثل ذلك فإن أرادا فصالا عن تراض منهما وتشاور فلا جناح عليهما وإن أردتم أن تسترضعوا أولادكم فلا جناح عليكم إذا سلمتم ما آتيتم بالمعروف واتقوا الله واعلموا أن الله بما تعملون بصير.
Mothers may breastfeed their children 2 complete years for who.
That is what I like, because it tells like, how did, if we didn't have the Quran, right? Because it doesn't say in the Bible, I don't think it says in the Bible how long you should breastfeed your child. So that's the reason why I'm saying that this is like a manual, because what if we didn't have this book from God to tell us how to be human? How would we know, right? I mean, we have instinct and we can kind of like guess. We have brains, so we can like, come to a smart conclusion and decision. But it's really nice to have like a book like the Quran to tell us how to live as human beings, and like these are the don'ts, this is the do's, these are what you should do, this is how you should do, and this is how you live, which is good because it's like you're not clueless about things. So that's interesting.
Whoever wishes to complete the nursing
So
period.
2 years, okay.
Upon the father is the mother's provision and their clothing according to what is reasonable. No person is charged with more than his capacity. No mother should be harmed through her child, and no father through his child. And upon the father's heir is a duty like that of the father. And if they both desire weaning through mutual consent from both of them and consultation, there is no blame on either of them. And if you wish to have your children nursed by a substitute, there is no blame upon you as long as you give payment according to what is reasonable.
Oh gosh.
And fear Allah and know that Allah is seeing of what you do.
والذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا يتربصن بأنفسهن 4 أشهر وعشرا فإذا بلغن أجلهن فلا جناح عليكم فيما فعلن في أنفسهن بالمعروف والله بما تعملون خبير.
And those who are taken in death among you and leave wives behind, they, the wives, shall wait 4 months and 10 days. And when they have fulfilled their term, then there is no blame upon you for what they do with themselves in an acceptable manner. And Allah is fully acquainted with what you do.
ولا جناح عليكم فيما عرضتم به من خطبة النساء أو أكننتم في أنفسكم علم الله أنكم ستذكرونهن ولكن لا تواعدوهن سرا إلا أن تقولوا قولا معروفا ولا تعزموا عقدة النكاح حتى يبلغ الكتاب أجله واعلموا أن الله يعلم ما في أنفسكم فاحذروه واعلموا أن الله غفور حليم.
There is no blame upon you for that to which you indirectly allude concerning a proposal to women or for what you conceal within yourselves. Allah knows that you will have them in mind. But do not promise them secretly except for saying a proper saying. And do not determine to undertake a marriage contract until the decreed period reaches its end. And know that Allah knows what is within yourselves, so beware of Him. And know that Allah is forgiving and forbearing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna end it in verse 2, 3, 5. We're gonna come back hopefully in a day or two. My camera is about to end. It just likes 29 minutes and 59 seconds. So this was very interesting. I learned a lot, especially about wives and husbands, the relationship between them. It's an interesting verses that we tackled today, because it's something that a lot of people should know, and yeah, very eye-opening. There's some stuff that I don't understand, like the terms. I don't know exactly what the terms are. What I know from this is 4 months and 10 days if you want to marry, or yeah, I think if you want to marry someone, something like that. I have to kind of like read the comments to get clarifications. But if you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, leave in the comment section down below what other videos you'd like to react to.